Everyone, welcome back to SAT Math Question of the Day. Here's our question of the day. Please try it. Pause the video. Come back and we'll try it. Okay, here we go. For the linear function, the table shows three values of x and their corresponding values of f of x, which is the output of the function. Which equation defines f? Okay, well, the first thing is all of them have a plus 13. So it's clear that it's plus 13 because when x is 0, f of x, the output's going to be 13. So that doesn't give us any information. So we may actually have to think about this. We could probably look for patterns, but maybe the easiest thing is just look for the slope, which is the difference between the y's. The f of x is divided by the y. So the difference here is 6, and the difference here is 15. So the slope is going to be 6 over 15. Now let's look. Those are unique. Well, but these numbers are unique anyway. The 6-ish and the 15-ish are unique. See, all of these are unique, right? And you're right. They all share a negative sign. So, frankly, we'll still get the right answer, even if the slope is the wrong side. So now we have to simplify this. Well, we divide both sides by 3, and we get 2/5. So the only answer is this one. But yes, you're right. It's negative. You're right. And it's interesting that they didn't put the positive one in there. That's interesting. You would think that's interesting. They didn't put the positive one in there.
Okay, so there's a much faster way of finding the answer. First, again, notice that all four of the choices are consistent with the value for f of 0.
Yeah, we just said that.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
So now we need one more piece of information.
Yeah.
From the slope, and let's not think of it as slope. Linear means what we need to do first is figure out for two of the rows how much the value of f goes up or down when the value of x goes up or down.
Yeah. So
first row, the x goes up from 0 to 10. It goes up by 10. F of x goes down by how much?
4.
By 4. So you look at a coefficient which is such that when x goes up by 10, the linear term goes down by 4.
Yeah.
And just look at them and see that the bottom one, when x goes up by 10, think of the 10 being substituted into the x. The 10 is divided by 5, and you get 2. The 2 in the 2/5 is multiplied by the 2 to get 4. It's a negative slope, and so that gives you you could observe that the bottom one is the right choice.
Yeah. Now
without thinking about forming a fraction and then doing a calculation. Now, since it's linear, they tell you it's linear. Since they're telling you it's linear, you can make this determination of the slope by any pair of lines in the table.
That's right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we pick the easiest line to deal with, which is the first 2.
I don't think so. I think the easiest line is the second 2.
Well, the second 2 would work too. No, it goes up by... Look, I'd rather think about something going up by 10 than something going up by 15.
Yeah, but I'd rather think of something differing by 6 than differing by 4.
Ha.
Okay? But I thought you said when there's an easier way of doing things is to actually just guess and check. And rarely does this work on the SAT, but that may work. You may just want to throw 10 into all of these and see if you get out 9. It is a more calculation.
It might not work.
Certainly try that.
Yeah.
Now, if you do that method of just putting a 10 in here and seeing which one comes out to be 9, you have to test all of them until you get the last one.
Yeah, will that work? Was checking one of the no, because it's determined by 2 points, right?
Right. But you could
Yeah,
quickly see that.
so checking one of the lines without reference to the line that you already checked would work. Sure.
Right. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Clearly, you could see pretty quickly that negative 40 plus 13 is nowhere near 9, and negative 20.
Yeah.
No, negative 20 plus 13 gets close. Negative 20 plus 13 gets close to 9. This one is a fraction, so it's a pain to do. And this one's a fraction, so it's a pain to do. Probably the most direct way is to do either one of the methods Seth or I suggested.
Yeah.
Look at try to figure out what the coefficient is based on the table, which is essentially what we're doing.
Yeah.
So, okay.
And another thing to tell is that the the changes between successive lines are pretty small in X, like 10 or 15.
Yep.
And the changes between the f of x's are smaller.
Yeah.
So therefore the slope has, and they go in opposite directions. So they are small negative numbers less than 1.
Yeah.
And the only choice they give you of a slope that's a negative number, that is a negative number that's that is less slopey than -1. In other words, a negative number which actually is negative but larger than -1. The only choice is -2/5.
Right, basically.
Another way of seeing it.
Right, so basically
the absolute value of the slope is less than 1, and the only choice whose absolute value of slope is less than 1 is the last one.
Right. Yeah. Basically, in English, that's saying that this doesn't change. The 9 going to 3 doesn't change as much as by adding and subtracting doesn't change as much as going from 10 to 25, so the slope has to be less than 1. Or the absolute value of the slope has to be less than 1. And the only one here that has an absolute value slope less than 1 is the last one. That's a pretty good way of doing it. Yeah. Okay, so let's go through our 4 questions very quickly. 1, it turns out in this case that looking at all the answers and checking all the answers is a feasible way of doing it. It's not the best way of doing it, but it is a feasible way. How would you do this question from school? Well, at school, you don't usually get multiple choice questions. You would just be asked to write the equation. And then how would you do this? Yeah, right. How would you do this problem differently from the SAT from school? Well, again, school doesn't give you multiple choices. And then the main idea of this question is understanding how to go from a table to a equation. Formula, and that's the skill set that's required you to know. And there are 3 modalities in algebra. The way I think of it, 3 languages. There's the table language for a function. There's the algebraic language for a function, and then there's the graph for a function. And you would not go to the graph here. Usually the table doesn't come up, but occasionally it does. And in this case, it certainly does. And you have to be able to go from one language to the other, from the table language to the algebra language. And that's really what they're asking to see if you know how to do. So, that's it, right?
That's it.
So I'm Joel. I have a PhD in mechanical engineering. And my brother Seth is a PhD in math from MIT. He's been teaching computer science for many years at SUNY Albany. He's now retired. We're here to hopefully give different approaches and insights into how to do an SAT math question. We try to meet once a day. In terms of studying for the math SAT, do as many practice questions as you can. The SAT people offer 4 digital practice tests. You should do all 4. And if there are any questions you're weak on, any topics you're weak on, go to Khan Academy. They partner with the College Board, and you can practice different types of questions. They categorize all the questions by question type and practice on any topic that you are weak on. Okay, that's it. And please give us comments on our videos. We really appreciate them. We take them all very seriously. And if you have any SAT math questions, please email them to us at satmathquestionoftheday@gmail.com. Anything else, Seth?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, great. Okay, everyone, have a great day.